it's raining and it's spraying, and I didn't have like a rain cover for my bag yet, and so like all my stuff was drenched, but like I wasn't even like mad about it.
You have a trend of losing your luggage.
I do have a trend, yeah.
Jamie, thank you for being willing to talk about your journey. From an outsider's perspective, I saw the people from the Health and Wellness Center just rally around you, and I barely knew you at the time. And to just see that outpouring of love from people that I barely knew, there was an exclamation point. I was like, I got to get to know this girl better. So thank you for being willing to talk about your experience.
Yeah.
You hiked 80 miles over 13 days.
Yes.
9,000 feet net, but like 16,000 feet up and down. More or less.
Yeah.
Where does your mind go to first when you think back over this trip?
So much like joy, honestly. And like, cause I finally like made it happen for myself. And then also like, kind of feel like I can do anything at this point.
That's special. Yeah. How long did you sit and think about doing this trip?
Like thought about seriously doing it like an hour.
So you were just you went for it.
So I had always like known that this was a thing, and I had always thought, oh yeah, someday in the future. But I was actually sitting at work one day.
Gotcha.
And I was working alone, and I was like bored, so I get on my phone and I just start researching.
Nice.
And I was like, wait, this is a lot more doable. So then like, in my head, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Like 3 days later, I booked it. So, yeah.
That's amazing. So for people listening that might not know much about this journey that you already knew a lot about, could you elaborate more on what it means to fly to Nepal and what base camp is? And could you talk for a second about your trip?
About my trip. So, like Everest base camp, a lot of people don't know that you have to actually hike to base camp to hike to Everest.
You have to hike to the starting point.
Yeah, you have to hike to the starting point. And even the starting point is already like over 17,000 feet. And so you have to acclimatize to like get to the bottom, because even people who summit Everest, they have to hike to base camp so they can acclimatize to the altitude.
And physically, what happens when you're acclimatizing?
You're kind of just getting used, I guess, to the oxygen levels and I think lower air pressure. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, because when you're like where we are at sea level, like it's so much easier to absorb oxygen, and if you're working and you're hiking, you're burning and using a lot of the oxygen in your blood. So when you have less of that, it's harder, and that's where people get like altitude sickness if you go too fast or you're not used to it.
Did anyone in your group get?
No. We were all pretty good. I mean, you're going to feel sick regardless because, like, you're not used to it, but we were all good. Like, most of us got, like, a headache at some point. Your chest feels tight, but nothing to where you couldn't stop. They told us, unless your oxygen goes below 60, we're still going.
And you were monitoring your oxygen?
Yeah, every morning and every night, they would take our oxygen levels and, like, heart rate. I think I got down to 79% at one point, and like here you would be hospitalized.
Wow.
If you did that, yeah.
But that's a part of the process.
But it's a part of the process, yeah. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah.
So you trained a lot for this. Could you describe the training process to be in shape for a journey like this?
Yeah. So I kind of always weightlifted, so I didn't really change too much, but I never did cardio. So I would get on the Stairmaster every day for like an hour and a half, and that's pretty much all I did. I mean, I probably...
For like 2 weeks leading up to it? Or?
I did for a couple months.
Nice.
I mean, I didn't do it every single day, but most days I was doing that. Because here, that's really all you can do anyway. But I probably could have done more, but I didn't.
I think I remember you saying it was easier than you expected.
It was easier than I expected.
Do you know why, or was it just you trained properly? Maybe adrenaline plays a huge part in this?
I think it's just, honestly, I think it was my mentality. Because I wanted it so badly, and then also I had so many people back at home excited for me. So
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of like maybe an expectation to finish.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm very hard-headed, so once I get something in my mind, like I do it. Like,
That's special. And for a trip
Yeah.
that big, I mean, I can't imagine backing out or what that would look
Yeah,
like. So
yeah.
I'm proud of you.
And
That's
we saw
such a
people
cool
that
thing.
did back out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk more about that.
It was kind of like sad, but like it was bittersweet, I
Yeah.
guess. Not in our group, but at one of the tea houses we were staying at, the day before base camp, the table next to us decided, all right, like they're done, and
Wow.
everyone was
That's
crying.
the last step before you get
It was
there.
the last step, yeah, and it was just like I could see the relief, but I could also see that they were really sad about it, and you know, so it was just like, I don't know, bittersweet.
That's tough.
Yeah. Because I could tell that they were like, okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. It sounds like a pretty harsh thing to come to terms with when you're that close, but I get it. I mean, I've never been up to base camp before. I can imagine it does so many things to your mind and body.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to segue into the emotional side of things.
Okay.
So what's going through your head as you're getting closer to base camp? Like, is it a spiritual experience? Are you more connected to nature?
I think it was kind of spiritual. A lot of people had their headphones in. Whenever I hike, I listen to nothing. It's literally just me and my thoughts. But it's so like, I guess that's the only time I feel comfortable doing that, because it just feels like where I need to be. And it's not even that I really didn't think about anything that deep. It was just like living in the present moment. At the beginning, well, the whole time we had really bad weather, and which is not like that normal, I guess. And we were like, so
Define bad weather.
just icy and rainy. The beginning was just rainy because it wasn't super cold yet, but so you're kind of just like walking and like in your head, and it's raining and it's raining, and I didn't have like a rain cover for my bag yet, and so like all my stuff was drenched, but like I wasn't even
You have
like
a
mad
trend
about
of losing your luggage.
I do have a trend, yeah. You know, but I wasn't even mad about it. And that's the thing, the whole time I was just so like content and at peace. And for me, I think it's rare to feel like that in my everyday life. I was like a very anxious person, very like always have something in my head, but I was just so at peace. Like I didn't like, and that's, I don't know, it's hard for me to say that, I think. Yeah, that I was just fully at peace the whole time.
What a gift.
Yeah.
I think, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, the closer I got, obviously the harder it did get. Like, the day we reached base camp was my hardest day, just because I had started getting sick at that point. I had like a really bad cough and like just like a splitting headache, but I was like, I just did it.
And you're still like reorienting your mind to try and appreciate these days because you're going to look back on this.
Exactly, yeah.
I can only imagine that sounds pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so from my research I did, there's like a final lookout point before you get to base camp, and then you like descend into base camp. Could you talk about what it felt to be on top of the world and see around you? Like I wrote here, you described I think you wrote this, upon reaching the top, it will feel like a completely different planet surrounded by the Himalayas from all directions.
Yes. So I think I sent you a video of it, but so when you reach base camp, there's the Khumbu Glacier, and so you're coming up on it, and you finally like, there was like this one specific turn, and all of a sudden my guide was like, that's base camp, and you could see all these little tents, but then the mountains surrounding it were like insane, like massive. Like it's like anytime I couldn't think mountains could get taller, they did. And then just seeing from perspective, like the tiny little tents and then the massive mountains, it just was like surreal. And
I can see the tents, but they're 40 miles away or something crazy.
And it's like, it's crazy. And then so you're coming up and it's snowing bad and it's so icy. So we're walking so slow. I think all of us fell at one point on that day.
Really?
Yes. Nothing bad, but, and then you have to like kind of cross, I guess, the glacier. to get to base camp, and just seeing it is just like, it's like, oh my God, we're here, and then that's it. And then you're just like, I remember just standing there and I was like, oh my God, I'm at base camp. And I just didn't like even know how to feel. But
did you cry?
No, I just was just like at peace, I guess.
That's sweet.
Yeah, we all took our pictures and climbed up on the rock, and it just like, I was like, wow, like I really am like at the top of the world in my mind, for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. I definitely, like, hearing your story about this, I would love to do that someday. If you go back, are you going to try and climb Everest?
No, I don't think so.
Would you do the same trip a second time?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do it differently, but I would 100% do it. I wouldn't climb Everest, especially after doing this. I felt so bad, like at base camp. I'm like, how could you go higher? And then also, the more I learned about climbing Everest, in my opinion, I don't think it's very ethical right now.
Okay. I know nothing about that.
If you want me to go into detail, yeah. So I don't think it's very ethical right now because basically it's so many people are doing it. If you have the money to do it, you can get to the top of Everest. You don't.
So it's a pay to play site.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Like you don't need a ton. Like I don't say you don't need any experience, but like if you have enough money, like you can find someone who will take you to the top. Not to discredit like people who actually like are able to do it, because it is extremely hard, but it's become so much more accessible to the point where so many people are doing it. If you see videos, there are lines of people waiting to go to the top of Everest on the mountain, which is also really dangerous because you're not moving and you're just standing at 20,000 feet. Like it's not the safest thing.
Gotcha.
And then also like you're putting other people's lives at risk, and it's because they have to out of necessity. Like the porters, they have to out of necessity. Like
that's their only livelihood.
That's their only livelihood, and so you're putting other people's lives at risk. And then
just for a cool picture.
Yeah, just for a cool picture. And they actually did change the rule recently. To get a permit to climb Everest, you have to have summited another 7,000 meter peak.
Gotcha.
But before that, if you had the money, you could buy a permit. And so that's why so many people started doing it. And I've seen other videos about this of people saying, oh, why I regret climbing Everest. And it was pretty much the same thing. Like I watched one video of this guy who summited Everest, and he regretted it because after the fact, he went out to Washington and he actually learned about mountaineering. And he was like, I climbed Everest and didn't know anything. And he's like, I wish I had the knowledge before, because then it would be more meaningful, you know.
That's a point of view I never thought of, so thank you for sharing that with me. So you didn't do it alone. You had a whole group of people, but you also had your mom. Could you talk about how special that was to go through that experience with her?
It was amazing. And I was nervous because, I don't know. But me and my mom are very close, and I think we've gotten closer since. But I first brought up to her that I wanted to do this, and I was originally wanted to go alone. And just because I thought no one else would want to go with me. And so I bring it up to her, and she goes, yeah, do it. And I didn't think that she would say, yeah, just do it. And then I was like, okay. So then I was like actually like doing more research into it. And then the next day she comes to me, she goes, wait, like, think about it, but can I come with you? I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, yeah, of course you can come with me. I just didn't think you would want to.
That's cool.
And so literally a week later we book it. And my mom, she hasn't really like left the country in a long time. And this was we had been talking about wanting to do like a trip together for a long time, but we never planned anything.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've done like a girls trip. And for us, a girls trip is
to Nepal.
like to Nepal. Like we are very adventurous, and both of us, I think that's where I get it from, is is my mom. Like my spontaneity is from my mom.
That's cool.
And I was worried because I was like, oh, we're going to be traveling together for a month. Like we're going to start fighting. Like it was actually it was great. And I do feel like she was really nervous, but it kind of felt like roles were reversed, where I was the calm one and she was nervous, and I felt I felt a sense of
Usefulness.
yeah, I felt happy that I could be the source of comfort for my mom in something very unfamiliar to both of us. And so that felt very powerful for me.
It's powerful to hear that.
Yeah. And so I feel like we got closer because of that. Because we both seen each other extremely vulnerable, like we were exhausted and tired and in a foreign place that we were extremely unfamiliar with, but we navigated it together. Even in the city before actually hiking in Kathmandu, it was just, everything is so new, and so just to discover everything together, it was amazing. Kathmandu is one of the coolest places I've ever been. It's so cool. It's beautiful.
I think I saw monkeys.
Yes, it was it's actually it was amazing. I would go back to Kathmandu just to go back to Kathmandu.
That's sweet.
I don't even have to go to the mountains. And the people there are so nice. Everyone, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's this hidden gem because it's so hard to get there, but it's just amazing.
Yeah. That's sweet. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that about your mom. As we sort of wrap things up, what am I missing from your trip? Is there anything that comes to mind that I haven't touched on that you'd like to share about this journey? Just little details that you think back on?
I want to talk about my guide. Her name was Pooja. She is actually amazing. She's just a very strong woman, and that was the company I went with specifically. They want to train more female guides. And when I first met her, I was very intimidated by her, but she's so smart, so strong, and I was just so inspired by her.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
How much work did she have to put in to get you up there? What all is she orchestrating in your group?
Well, the pace of the group, we went extremely slow because just to acclimatize, but
it's 9 days up, 3 days down, or something like that.
Yeah, so she led our group, and she just talked us through everything, reassured us about everything, but then also was so knowledgeable about everything in the region. So it was just really cool to hear about her and her life and about the mountains. She loves the mountains. She's I have the best job ever.
Yeah. You would hope they'd have that attitude.
Yeah, and she just is very strong, and I was extremely inspired by her. So yeah, it was cool. And then I want to talk about my group. We had such a good group. So I went with an all women's group. And I went with, there was 4 other girls. They were all from the UK, and they were all in their 20s. So, and it was kind of fun because it was just people that were closer in my age, and I didn't expect that. And we had a small group, and everyone got along so well. I still keep in touch with all of them.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and it's just we just had a great time. We got so close, and it was just, yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
I feel I really lucked out with the people I was with.
Sounds like you did, and you seem so joyful talking about it, so that's the greatest testament of that. So the last thing I'll ask you today is to speak from the heart and to inspire people to maybe consider a trip like this. What comes to mind if you were to talk to someone who never thought it would even be possible to go on something like this? Go ahead.
My number one thing that I keep telling people is that if you have a thought in your head, to just actually make the step to do it. Because I was talking to someone else recently about, everyone has a list of things in their mind that, oh, someday I'm gonna do that. And that Everest was one of those things for me, and I never thought that it would be so soon. Maybe I would do it, maybe I wouldn't, but I just made the first step to, okay, I'm going to research it, just because I was bored one night at work. And you just have to, it's just do the action that will get you closer to what you want to do. And just by that one Google search, I feel my life has changed completely. And I was telling you this, the way, ever since I've gotten back, the last few months, I think I've changed so much as a person, more in the last few months than I have in the last 20 years. And so I'm at the point where I don't even, if I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. Like, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to be some crazy trip, but if you want to do something, just make the step to do it.
Cool. Well, thank you for inspiring me, and
Yeah,
thanks for talking
thank
about
you.
that. Have a good day. Yeah.